Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Tuesday, February 21st slate of college basketball. Yes, you guys heard me right. We are going to be hopping into some college basketball as of today. This is the first time that I've posted a video here on the channel in a while, so I am very excited to be back with you guys. Hopefully you guys are excited to see me as well. So I'm super excited to dive into some picks today, but before we did, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 12,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me. So much more than you guys will ever know. So, as of right now, we are a couple days away from the NBA returning when the videos will be coming back every single day. But I did want to hop on here and go ahead and give out some college basketball picks. We've been a little bit dry here recently because there hasn't been any NBA, so hasn't really been a whole lot of content to really make. So I've kind of just been enjoying the break just a little bit. But we're back. We're absolutely back, and we are diving into some college basketball, and I'm excited about it. I've posted my picks over the last couple of nights on my community tab and on my Twitter page, but I didn't really make any full-length videos or anything like that. Well, that's changing today, so we're going to have a full-length video today, a full-length video tomorrow, and I'm not 100% sure when Thursday ends up hitting what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be making two videos, one for college basketball and one for NBA, or if I'm just going to throw in a college pick at the end of the video. I really haven't decided yet, but either way, if you guys are new, make sure that you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you guys can be tuned in for whenever it does end up happening. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap as of yesterday. So we did end up having a 2-in-1 day on the day yesterday. So we did end up having the West Virginia -5 here versus Oklahoma State. Really was no sweat whatsoever. They ended up winning by 18, and they kind of had control of it for most of the game, but especially once that second half hit, it was pretty much over at that point. So we ended up winning that one pretty handedly. Then we had Louisville plus 18.5 here versus Duke at -110. This line ended up moving up to 17.5. So Duke -17.5 bettors. I am so sorry, but they ended up Louisville ended up losing by exactly 17. So just barely sweated this one out, but it ended up working out for us as well. Then we had our one loss. We had TCU -2. Literally, if you go back and watch any of my NBA videos, one of my biggest reasonings as to why I make picks, especially when it comes to spread picks, is if a line doesn't make sense. And I didn't do that on this play for some reason. I don't know why. Literally, if you go back and watch, I'll say something along the lines of, oh, this team ended up winning by 20+ last game, and now all of a sudden they're only 2-point favorites, or whatever the case is. And that was the exact case for TCU. They ended up beating this team very, very handedly a couple months ago. And now they were only 2-point favorites. I should have known. I literally, that is my bread and butter. But for some reason, I did not end up taking that. But that's out of the window. We ended up going 2-1 on our plays. Let's go ahead and have another winning day. I've got 4 plays here for you that I do really like. One of them is kind of a gross play. We'll get into that in a second. That'll be probably our last play. But regardless, I still found 3 plays I'm really, really happy about. And a 4th one that I do like as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So for our first official play of the day, we're taking Michigan State -2.5 here versus Indiana at -110 odds. Now, I know, I get it. Indiana is a very good basketball team, but so is Michigan State. Michigan State is a very good home team this year. They are 9-7 against the spread at home this year, and they are coming off of a loss to Michigan. This should be which is one of their rivals, of course. Should be a great bounce back spot here at home versus Indiana, who really, really struggles on the road. They are just 2-7-1 against the spread on the road and 2-5 against the spread as an underdog. So a lot of times this Indiana team is a team that you want to fade on the road, and I think that we see another situation of that. I think that Michigan State does take care of business. Indiana is a very tough place to play, so for teams that are going to be traveling to Indiana, I get why it would be very difficult, but in this situation, you're talking about traveling to Michigan State for Indiana, and I just don't really love the spot here for them. I think that Michigan State does end up getting it done. Michigan State did end up losing last time between these two teams by 13, but they are now currently favorites, so pretty much a 15-point, point correction, and it was in Indiana. Very, very tough place to play. That place is always packed, and it's so loud, and the fans in Indiana. Shout out to the fans in Indiana. They are loyal to the soil. But I think this is a spot that Michigan State does end up winning, especially at home. So we're going to be riding with it here for our first official play of the day. Michigan State -2.5 here versus Indiana at -110 odds. Now for our second official play of the day, we're going to be taking Texas A&M money line here versus Tennessee at -118 odds. Now, I like this for a couple different reasons. Both these teams are exactly 20-7 on the year, so both these teams are very good basketball teams. But I love Texas A&M here for mostly because Texas A&M is trending in the right direction. They are 8-2 in their last 10, and they are 13-1 at home this year, and they are 17-4 as favorites this year. This Texas A&M team is the real deal. They've been playing really good all year long, and I don't expect them to let up in this situation versus a very good Tennessee opponent. Tennessee is just 4-4 on the road this year, so they're just barely 500 on the road. This is a team that you do not want to bet against at home, but on the road, it is literally a coin flip when it comes to 4-4, literally a coin flip. And they're 0-1 as an underdog, which they did just end up losing to Kentucky. It was the first time all year long that they were an underdog, and now they are an underdog once again. So I really do like the spot here. I do think that Texas A&M does end up coming out here with the win, especially at home this year. They've been an absolute lock anytime they're at home. So I really do like the spot here. For our second official play of the day, Texas A&M money line here versus Tennessee at -118 odds. Now for our third play of the day, we're going to be going to Baylor -2 here versus K-State at -110. Now, bring it in, K-State. Bring it in. Thank you for winning us some coin last game, but I think this is a spot that you want to go ahead and fade them. Baylor is 4-2 against the spread following a loss, which they did just end up having to Kansas. And realistically, it was a pretty bad loss that they had to Kansas. I didn't write down the number, unfortunately, but I know it was a double-digit loss. I think it was like 15, 16 points. And I think this is a spot where Baylor does end up bouncing back in this one. They're 4-3 against the spread versus ranked opponents this year. I know that K-State has shown up all year long. They've been a good team, but I just think this is a really good spot. The line has already shifted 3.5 points in favor of Baylor, and K-State ended up winning their last matchup in overtime. So I think it's going to be anybody's game once again. I think that this is a spot that Baylor does end up taking care of business. I think that they are not going to get beat by K-State 2 times in a row. It's tough in college basketball to beat a team 2 times in a row. It really is. But I do like this spot here for Baylor. I think that they end up getting it done. So that is going to be our third official play of the day. Baylor -2 here versus K-State at -110 odds. Now for our fourth and final play of the day, plug your nose. Plug your nose, okay? This is disgusting. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. We're taking Eastern Michigan -3.5 here versus Western Michigan at -110 odds. Now, I know Eastern Michigan has literally only won 6 games all year long, but Western Michigan, they've only won 7. So it's really not like either of these teams are very great basketball teams, but somebody has to win and somebody has to cover. Earlier on in the season, Eastern Michigan did end up losing to this team, and they are favored, and now the line is currently moving in their direction. I think that this is a spot that you want to get on Eastern Michigan early. I know that this game is going to be ugly. It's going to be a plug-your-nose game, but when it comes to some of these games, when it comes to 2 teams that aren't necessarily the greatest, you got to look for some star power, and let's be honest, Amani Bates is still a good basketball player. I know that everything that has kind of happened with him, but he's still a very good basketball player, and I think that he is going to be able to take this Eastern Michigan team, especially towards the tail end of the season, and be able to make some noise, be able to put his name back up there, and I think that this is going to be a spot to be able to do that. And Eastern Michigan is also 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, which is honestly not too shabby for 2 teams that aren't necessarily the greatest. So I really do like this one. If you guys are going to fade me on any pick, just fade me on this one, but I do think this is a spot that EMU does end up getting it done. So we're going to be riding with it here for our fourth and final play of the day. Eastern Michigan -3.5 here versus Western Michigan at -110. I know, disgusting. It's gross, but I think it's a spot that we end up winning. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 12,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.